Hello and good evening. Welcome to Dateline. My name is Francis Ofunwe. We begin with our church story now, where Christians have been admonished to put their trust and confidence in God, no matter the challenges they face in life. The wife of the state governor, Deaconess Youre Not Alone, gave the admonition during the International Women Prayer Conference, IWPC, with the theme, God of Wonders, it held in Asaba. The Youre, represented by the wife of the state deputy governor, Ezinne Catherine Oyeme, told the women to have faith in God and to be expectant to receive from him, citing Proverbs chapter 23, verse 18. The governor's wife commended the convener of the Women Prayer Conference, Bishop Peace Okonkwo, saying it had impacted positively on many. The event, which featured special prayers, was attended by a cross-section of women and top government functionaries, among other personalities.
Really spoke very well about the Word of God. She encouraged every one of us to always have high trust in God and also believe that whatever problem or issues we have come with, that we will not go back the same, and which we eventually see that happen. A lot of people were blessed, and to crown it all, I am privileged to come and represent Her Excellency Deaconess Youre, who gave me that privilege to partake in this blessing.
Christians have been urged to have faith in God in the face of the rising security challenges and economic hardship bedeviling the country. The Associate Priest of the Catholic Church, Joachim and Anne Oratory Asaba, Reverend Father Solomon Ibu, gave the charge at the church service. The report.
In a sermon titled "You're Not Alone," the cleric admonished Christians not to ever feel abandoned in their struggles, assuring them of God's presence always. He urged them to be strong and courageous, adding that they should not be afraid, as God would never leave nor forsake them.
Our life is much more important than the birds of the field and any other thing. But he said God takes care of them. I said, if God can take care of them, how much more my own people, whom I created in my own image and their likeness? God does not fail to provide.
Reverend Father Abel, citing the Bible in 1 Corinthians 12, verse 22, advised Christians to lean on each other and walk in unity.
There is no solution outside Jesus. Encourage yourself today that you are never alone.
He prayed for the peace and comfort of God's presence and support for the Christians in the country. The service featured prayers and thanksgiving.
Governor Sheriff Oborewori will continue to pay priority attention to infrastructure development, quality health care, agriculture, education, and other key sectors of the state economy through the ongoing implementation of his MORE agenda. Chief Executive Officer of Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau, Dr. Fred Oganesiwe, gave the assurance in a statement yesterday while responding to a trending media propaganda by the spokesperson of the major opposition party in the state. He said, Governor Oborewori is a visionary leader, a meticulous planner and prudent administrator whose main objective is to build a viral economy through various star projects across the 3 senatorial districts. Other than that, the ongoing implementation of the MORE agenda was already creating thousands of jobs and wealth for skilled and unskilled Deltans. Dr. Oganesiwe said that loans and credit facilities obtained by previous administration were transparently spent to develop and upgrade infrastructure, upscale socio-economic development, and well-being of the people. He pointed out that immediate past governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, served the state meritoriously for 8 years, noting that the state under him published annual financial reports in the official website of the state government to enable citizens and stakeholders freely access the reports anywhere in the world. Dr. Latimo disclosed that the governor of the Oborewori administration neither violated the Nigerian constitution nor acted illegally by repaying and serving legitimate debts and credit facilities obtained legally by the previous administration. especially where the loans had been transparently utilized to develop infrastructure and the well-being of the people. He charged the spokesperson of the major opposition party in the state to reflect on the ongoing End Bad Governance nationwide protest, occasioned by the abysmal performance of the federal government under his party, and compare same with Delta State, where the governor is allergic to loans and anti-people economic policies, but rather supporting small and medium-scale businesses through financial grants to fast-track economic growth under the More agenda. The Minister of Interior, Honorable Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has uploaded intelligence gathering capacity of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, saying the Corps was critical of the security architecture of Nigeria. Honorable Tunji-Ojo made the statement when he visited the FRSC headquarters in Abuja, where he tasked officers and men of the Corps to be extraordinary in road safety management and continue exhibiting professionalism as they discharge their duties. According to him, the intelligence they gathered from the enhanced visibility of the Corps would help boost the security of the nation. The minister, who emphasized on the role played by the Corps to ensure safety on the highways, added that the FRSC should remain committed to its mandate of ensuring safety of lives and property. Responding, the FRSC Corps Marshal, Mr. Shehu Mohammed, thanked the minister for his support and recognition of the FRSC's role in internal security. Mr. Mohammed noted that the FRSC's role in internal security was multifaceted, saying that the Corps presence on the highways and roads provided a visible deterrent to criminal activities. He added that the FRSC's collaboration with other security agencies had also facilitated the sharing of intelligence and best practices, leading to a more coordinated approach to the national security. Mr. Mohammed added that FRSC, as a lead agency in road safety management, consistently demonstrated its capacity to adapt to emerging security challenges. The Corps Marshal assured Nigerians of tireless work by the Corps to ensure road safety and continued collaboration and contributions to national security. Still talking force matters, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, says the Nigerian Air Force NAF deployed aircraft in Gombe State after the End Bad Governance protest was hijacked by unscrupulous elements. According to him, the situation called for extra security measures. A statement by Director of Public Relations and Information, NAF, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gabkiet, stressed that the aircraft was deployed for reconnaissance missions. According to the statement, the Air Force's regiment forces joined other security agencies in quelling the unrest. The Chief of Air Staff stated that, realizing the destruction of lives and property during the recent protest in the state by unscrupulous elements, extra security measures became necessary. The statement added that the Gombe State Governor, Inuwa Yahaya, commended the NAF 109 Combat Reconnaissance Group for quelling looting and theft during the protest. Meanwhile, as several states count their losses from the 10 days #EndBadGovernance protest, the nationwide 1 million man march scheduled to begin or bring the protest to an end yesterday did not take place in the states as protesters shunned the exercise. The Defense Headquarters, DHQ, however, vowed that the military would counter any violent and subversive actions disguised as protest, insisting that it would not condone any attempt by protesters to demand a regime change. DHQ also advised those who felt they had superior ideas on how to solve the nation's socio-economic challenges to sell that to the electorate and acquire power through legitimate means. The Edo State government, in partnership with Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, is set to meter about 500,000 houses in the state. The Commissioner for Mining, Energy, Oil and Gas, Mr. Enaholo Ujefo, who stated this yesterday, said the exercise would begin on Tuesday this week in order to eliminate the problem of estimated billing in the state. Shortly after signing the Memorandum of Understanding with the management of BEDC in his office, the Commissioner said that the project would cover the 3 senatorial districts. He noted that every house was expected to be installed with government-subsidized meter, disclosing that the meters were covered by insurance policy and subscribers were expected to get their meter 10 days after payment. The commissioner said that subscribers were expected to log in the payment portal as from Wednesday and could be assured that they would get their meters on time. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has called on the federal government to sustain the embargo placed on certificates obtained by Nigerian students from tertiary institutions in Togo and the Republic of Benin. NANS made the call in a statement signed by the clerk of its Senate, Mr. Abdul Yekin Odunayo, today in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The students' body explained that the call became imperative because it was aware of moves by some individuals in the country to pressure the federal government into lifting the ban. Mr. Odunayo added that the individuals visited the office of the Minister of Education to sell lies to him and persuade him to rescind the decision of the federal government on the loan of certificates from mushroom tertiary institutions from the West African countries. He urged the President Bola Tinubu-led administration to remain firm in its decision, stressing that the move was best to forestall foreign standards in the education sector of Nigeria. The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has reacted to a report making the rounds on social media that bank accounts of Corps members have been upgraded to accommodate the new 70,000 naira minimum wage. A statement signed by Director, Information and Public Relations of NYSC, Mr. Eddie Megwa, described the report as misleading. The NYSC said no directive had been given by the relevant authority for it to start the payment of 70,000 naira wage to Corps members or to upgrade their account. The scheme by this release admonished Corps members to desist from allowing mischief makers set to mislead Nigerians continue to play their intelligence. It also stated that bloggers and social media influencers are warned to stop issuing statements that concern the management of the National Youth Service Corps without authorization. The 10th National Assembly has reiterated its commitment to enacting relevant laws that would make the country conducive for the youth to remain and contribute to national development. The Deputy Senate President, Senator Jibrin Barau, gave the assurance in Abuja at the 2024 conference and the 6th National Discourse organized by the Companion, an association of Muslim men in the businesses and other professions. The theme of the conference was Between Patriotism and the Self-Preservation Dilemma of the Nigerian Youth, Challenges at Home, Uncertainties Abroad, end of quote. He said the theme of the conference aptly captured the ethical dilemmas confronting the Nigerian youth who fail to appreciate the value and true essence of being proud Nigerians. Senator Barau, who was the first Deputy Speaker of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS Parliament, said both the legislature and the executive arms of government were looking together to create opportunities for the youth to reach their full potentialities in life. Mr. Barau commended the organizers of the conference for creating such an auspicious platform for sharing ideas that would advance the course of national values and development. And on the global scene, President Volodymyr Zelensky has confirmed for the first time that the Ukrainian military is conducting a cross-border offensive inside Russia's western Kursk region. Late last night, President Zelensky said Ukraine was pushing the war onto the aggressor's territory. Russia's foreign ministry says its army will deliver a tough response to the incursion. On Tuesday, Kiev launched a surprise attack and has advanced more than 10 kilometers inside Russia. Russian authorities said 76,000 people had been evacuated from border areas in the Kursk region. This is the deepest raid into the country since Moscow began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Kiev and several other regions came under a Russian drone and missile attack overnight, killing 2. And out of business news, about 700,000 manufacturers and micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, have expressed intention to become beneficiaries of the federal government's 150 billion naira loan to help businesses in Nigeria navigate the current economic crunch. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Anite, revealed this in an interview on Friday, stressing that the ministry was working tirelessly to ensure prompt release of the fund to eligible businesses. Over 630,000 citizens have benefited from the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme. In December last year, the federal government unveiled the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme as part of the Presidential Palliatives Program aimed at supporting businesses to navigate the economic hardship caused by some government policies. The fund dedicated 75 billion naira to MSMEs and another 75 billion naira to the manufacturing sector. Some business stories now. Nigeria's electricity generation yesterday dropped to 3,521,037 megawatts, barely 2 weeks after reaching a year high of 5,105 megawatts on July 27. According to the latest 24-hour National Grid performance data, the figure represents electricity generated by the 22 power plants connected to the country's national grid. Igbo, with 450 megawatts, contributed the highest to the grid, with Sapele National Integrated Power Plant gas and Geregu NIPP gas recorded zero generation. The development came after Minister of Power, Mr. Debayo Adilabu, recently said the country's electricity generation reached a 3-year high of 5,105 megawatts. Despite Nigeria's heavy investments in the power sector, the country has continued to struggle with 3,000 megawatts to 5,000 megawatts electricity generation for a population of over 200 million. In sports, President Bola Tinubu's government has expressed dissatisfaction with Team Nigeria's failure to win a single medal in the 2024 Olympics in Paris, calling for reforms to ensure effective leadership for sports administration in the country. Minister of Sports Senator John Eno, in a statement, described the performance of Team Nigeria in the Olympics as disappointing, calling for reforms in the sports sector for improved performance on the global stage. The sports minister said elections for the federations were closed, adding that only those who are eligible or most eligible to lead the various sports federation should be elected. Senator Eno's statement elicited comments from Nigerians. Many attributed Team Nigeria's poor Olympic performance to poor preparation. So in sports, the nationwide League One NLO has announced a date for the finals of the 2024 promotion playoff. The encounter is scheduled for Wednesday, August 14. The match will take place at the Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano. The final promotion playoff match is between Damburan Football Club of Katsina State and Police Beretta Club of Gombe. The NLO Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Olushola Ogunowo, disclosed this in a memo sent to the clubs. Mr. Ogunowo assured the clubs of smooth and successful organization of the final promotion playoff. Napoli Sporting Director Cristiano Mane has confirmed that star striker Victor Osimhen has requested to leave the club amid the ongoing transfer saga surrounding the Nigerian forward. Osimhen, the 25-year-old African Footballer of the Year, has been at the center of intense speculation in recent weeks. Despite signing a contract extension with Napoli, which includes a hefty 110 million euros release clause, Osimhen has reportedly made it clear he wishes to end his association with the Serie A giants. A potential move to Paris Saint-Germain has been rumored, but the transfer fell through as the French champions are no longer seeking a new striker. With no resolution in sight and the transfer window drawing to a close, Osimhen remains with Napoli, leaving his future uncertain. And let's talk entertainment. Award-winning Nigerian singer Burna Boy has addressed the confusion surrounding the release of his highly anticipated 8th studio album. The artist initially suggested the album would drop at midnight, which led many to believe it would be available on July 30. On July 29, Burna Boy announced that the album was dropping by 12 midnight, which caused disappointment among fans when the album was not released as expected. In a follow-up post on today, Burna Boy clarified the situation, stating that he never specified the exact release date, only the time announcement should serve as a valuable lesson to pay attention to detail. The singer recently celebrated the 5th anniversary of the Grammy-nominated 2019 album African Giant. Born Damini Ogunu, Burna Boy rose to fame with his debut album Live in 2013 and has since released 7 albums, including twice as tall in 2020 and Love Demini in 2022. His achievements include winning the Grammy Award for Best World Music Album and being named one of Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People for 2024. Additionally, he recently became the first African artist to achieve 2 billion streams across platforms in the United Kingdom. You're watching Dateline on Delta Television, the People's Pride. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, Dateline proper. Stay with us. You're watching Dateline on Delta Television, the People's Pride. Now, the remains of Ezinne Susan Nkechi Mafiana has been laid to rest at a residence in Agba Quarters on Ochulona. The funeral service held at the Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church on Ochulona, Adocha North Local Government Area. Here's a report.
In his homily, our guest minister, Reverend Father Peter Nkadi, called on believers to see death as a second journey where rewards would be given according to one's deeds. He admonished believers to emulate Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, who went about doing good with humbleness of heart. The cleric enjoined the family of late Ezinne Susan Nkechi Mafiana to sustain the good legacy of their departed, saying her good deeds in the vineyard of God could not be undermined, and they prayed for the repose of her soul.
The life of every Christian should be modeled after the life of Christ who will follow, who said, I came not to be served, but to serve and to give my life as a ransom for many. That is why we also who are called Christians must live like Christ. In being generous, both with the words that come out of our mouth, with the behavior we exhibit, and with the next speech we do.
The body was later interred amidst tears and eulogies from family members, friends, and well-wishers, while the F-to-F rite was performed by the children of the deceased. The children and in-laws of the deceased described the late Ezinne Susan Nkechi Mafiana as a peace-loving, caring, and a woman who loved God's work and encourages others.
She was an Amazon. My mom, you know where you stand with her. She was not a waverer. She doesn't waver.
I miss everything. The care, the love, you know, the advice and the ideas. I'll miss a whole lot.
She's more than a mother-in-law to me. She taught me that a woman is not supposed to stay idle. As a woman, you need to stand up to work.
She's accommodating. She stood by me when I needed her. She's a cheerful giver. She will be mixed in all ways.
She's in our, if you translate it in our language, as good mother.
She's more than a mother to me. There are mothers and there are mothers. She never treated me differently. As a toddler, as an infant, she took good care of me.
A reception for guests held at the Oba Primary School field brought together men and women from home and abroad, including the Anyocha North Council Chairman, Honorable Bazim Chinye, among others. Different entertainment groups were present as they displayed their skills to the admiration of guests. The late Ezinne Susan Nkechi Mafiana, aged 84, is survived by children and many relatives.
Well, it's always good to leave a lasting legacy for your children and descendants to celebrate you for the rest of time. From Dateline, we say rest in peace, Lady Susan Mafiana. Now, here's our thought for the day. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And I hope you take those words to heart and practice them as you flourish during the week. That's all on Dateline. My name is Francis Ofulwe. Have a wonderful evening and good night.